Are you looking for a side hustle? Let's get you trading stocks right now. Alright, so we're back in Webull for this video, and what I'm going to be talking to you about today is the RSI indicator. First things first, if you like my video and you like my content that I'm putting out, then like, subscribe, and go hit those links. Alright, so in this video, I've got 4 examples for you. They're all going to be cryptos, and this first one is Dogecoin. But what we're going to be looking at is down here at the RSI indicator. So this strategy that I'm going to be showing you is using the RSI indicator to very simply make swing trades and be very profitable with those swing trades. So with this first example, I'm going to show you what we're looking at for the RSI indicator and what we want to see whenever we buy and sell a stock. So this first part, I'm just going to show you the basics, and then the next 3 examples, I'm going to actually be going over where you would buy and sell and how much you would profit for each trade. Now, in this video, I'm not going to have any day trades. They're all going to be long-term swing trades. Some of them a couple weeks, some of them a couple days, and there's one of them that is going to be probably over a couple months is how long you would hold out your trade for. So whenever we're talking about the RSI indicator right down here, we're going to be looking for this blue line in the middle to be going below that 30 mark right there or above the 70 mark right there. And in between, right through here, is going to be fair value. So I'll be talking about that fair value area as well. But if you look right here on the bottom, I've pointed out all of the areas of oversold. That is where the stock has dipped down and it is below what they consider fair value at that time. And then up here is called overbought. And that is what they consider to be way above fair value at that time. And it sounds really simple, and it pretty much is, just to buy in at oversold and sell out at overbought. And in this example, every time it dips down to oversold and then recovers to overbought, you would have made a profit, and a pretty sizable one at that, depending on how many stocks you had bought. But the stock market does not care about you, and it will rip you to shreds if you give it the chance. So stick with me through these videos and go take those courses that I have linked in the description and give yourself the chance to take as much money out of the stock market and put it in your pocket as you can. And the way you're going to do that is right down here, whenever we see it's oversold on this first part, and then you can look above and you can see that it kind of has a small period where it goes back down and it's kind of in an intermittent state. What you want to do is you want to make sure that there is a period of recovery. You want to make sure that there is a recovery there, so you're not just throwing whiskey on the fire. So what you want to do is you want to be able to find a stock that has enough volatility over enough time in the time that you're wanting to actually make a trade. So in this period right here, we can see it goes all the way back to February, and then we go all the way through April. So that's 2 months, and there's several times in there where you could have made trades. So you're talking about maybe a week-long, 2-week-long trade in this time period. So if you look right here, at the bottom to the top right here, that is our first sign that that pattern is going on. And so you want to watch the stock just a little bit longer to make sure that that pattern holds. So then you can see from overbought way up here to it goes right to oversold here. Now, if you notice, it doesn't go all the way back up to overbought until this period right here. And there's 3 spikes right there where it goes past that 70 into the overbought area, and it never goes back down into the oversold area. So sometimes you need to actually watch the stock a little bit longer to make sure that that pattern is holding. Now, if you would have bought in right down here in the middle and sold out once it got close to that 70 mark, you would have still made a profit. But just keep in mind that even though you don't have to go all the way up to the 70 or all the way down to the 30 to be profitable with it, the more of these areas that you have, the more likely you're going to be consistently profitable. And that's what we're looking for, is being consistent. All right, so now let's get into some actual trade examples, and let's see if you can spot the oversold and the overbought on the RSI before I point them out. So take your time to do that now. All right, so now I'm going to point those out, and they're right there. So you can see that every time that you would have bought in at oversold and sold out at overbought, which is the 30 and the 70 on the RSI indicator, you would have made a pretty good profit depending on how many stocks you would have bought. So let's say you bought in at oversold right here on this second dip. Once you saw some confirmation with the SMA line, and then you rode it all the way up to oversold, and you sold out at validation at the top. So that's a pretty good chunk, and it shows that whenever you bought in, it would have been right about 10 cents a share. So let's say you just spent $100, which is, pretty reasonable for most anybody to put in $100. And then you waited until the overbought area and you sold out. And so you had spent $100 and you would have got 1,000 shares for 10 cents. Now it is all the way up here and it is right about 13 cents. So that's a $30 profit off of spending $100. And so you just made a 30% profit off of that trade. All right, let's move on to the next example. So this is another reason why I like crypto so much, especially for making these videos, because they are very volatile, as you can see. Just look at that movement going up and down rapidly. And this is only over about a month and a half period, so even shorter than the last one. And you can see right down here how many times it hit the 70 and the 30 on the RSI. So you would have been able to get a quicker trade with this one. So as I have these pointed out here now on the RSI, you'll be able to see any time that you bought in at oversold and sold out at overbought, then you would have made a pretty decent profit. So we're going to go through a simulated trade right here. I'm just going to show you what you would have made if you would have made this trade. So we're going to buy in right here on this first down dip, and then we're going to sell out at this oversold mark right here. And so what you can see is that if we would have bought, let's say, 1,000 shares at 31 cents down here, that would have been $310 that we would have spent. And then if we sold our shares up here, that's 1,000 shares for 36 cents. That's $360. That's a $50 profit. And you might be thinking, $50, that's not that much. But it's not really about getting huge sums of money right off the bat. What we want to do, and what I'm trying to get you to do, is to take your profits. Take your profits. If you take your profits and you focus on taking profits instead of just trying to get bigger sums of money, you'll be better in the long run. We want to look at the long term, how much money we make over the long term. All right, let's go ahead and move on to my last example, and this is probably one of my favorite stocks to give examples of, Bitcoin. Everybody loves Bitcoin. Everybody knows Bitcoin. But let's just jump right into a trade right here. So I'm going to highlight real quick all of the lows and all of the highs. I'm going to do it on both the graph and the RSI indicator itself. So let's just look at probably right here in the middle. That's probably the biggest chunk of profit that we would have taken. So let's see how much money we would have made right here. All right, so as you can see, the low point right there is $32,946.22. So if we would have just bought one share of this and rode it all the way up to this high point right there, that's right about $45,000. So just one share in about a week and a half of a trade, you would have saw a profit of over $12,000. Now this is a little bit less realistic for beginners. Like whenever I began, I had like $10 and I turned it into what I have now. So right off the bat, don't worry about not being able to buy Bitcoin or anything, because eventually you'll get there if you follow my videos and make sure to subscribe. That's why it's so important for you to subscribe, because I have so much information to give everybody, and if you don't subscribe, you won't be able to catch it as it comes out. Also, since we're talking about Bitcoin right now, I do have a Bitcoin specific trading course linked in the description, so make sure to go hit that. So that's going to be all for this video, but make sure to subscribe and like so I can keep putting out more videos, because I've got a ton of content that I can go over. I've also got links in the description for all of the courses that you can take. I've also got my Webull in the links as well, so make sure to go hit that, get your free stocks, and make sure to subscribe, like for more videos, and make sure to take these courses.